Hello everyone, this is Food is a Conversation Alumni Edition. This is the 40th session what we organized since April this year. And what is the goal of these live sessions? Well, we introduce our ecosystem members who attended any of the educational programs organized by the Future Food Institute so far. One of them is myself. I also attended the master program. If you go to our IGTV, you can see the different sessions already, either from the graduates of the Food Innovation Master or the different summer schools, or now, of course, also the boot camps, what we organize with FAO together. Why is it so relevant? Well, the second edition of the digital boot camp starts next Friday. So if you haven't applied yet, you have still a few days to do so, to join a 4-week part-time transformational learning experience. And while I'm waiting for my person today, let me tell you a bit more about the boot camps and our alumni. So on these sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we introduce our alumni. We talk about how did they actually connect with Future Food? How did they become the members? What program they attended? What were their key learnings? And what happened with them since then? What are they doing right now? Also, we learn about their local food systems because, as you can imagine, our ecosystem is pretty wide, and we have alumni located all over the world. That's why also on Tuesdays we host these sessions in the evening, and today it's more in the morning, Central European time, to cover all the different time zones. So today the person who is joining us, I got to know her in June when she was applying for the digital bootcamp, and she is dialing in from Zimbabwe. What makes this session even more exciting, that I had the chance to work with her on one of our projects recently, and she organized a dinner for us in Harare for our Nutrition for All research. Hi, Nicola.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm very good, thank you. I just quickly finished the intro, and we can go on with the questions. This is a very great example to show how we try to also stay in touch with the community and how active our community is. After graduating, it doesn't mean that that was it. You get your certificate and then you won't hear from us anymore, because we try to have a very active network, and whenever we have different projects where we identify that someone has the right skills and competencies, we try to engage and we try to involve everyone on different levels. Now, if you cannot listen till the very end, or you are curious about the previous sessions, they are all available on our IGTV and on our YouTube channel as well. So this one will be also posted after we finish. And now, without any further ado, Nicola, please introduce yourself and tell us where are you dialing in from, and how did you end up on the digital bootcamp in July?
Okay. My name is Nicola, also known as Chef Cola, and I am the founder of African Vegan on a Budget. It's a vegan, plant-based brand based in Cape Town, South Africa, and Harare, Zimbabwe. Right now, I'm dialing in from Harare, Zimbabwe, and I've heard you said, how did we get connected, right? That was your question. Yes, I got connected with you guys through a recommendation through a fellow named Lisa, who's based in South Africa. So that's how we all became one.
Yes. So if you want to get to know a bit more about Lisa, she was also featured already on these sessions. So check out, she is actually leading also a plant-based, working for a plant-based company, or a company promoting plant-based meals and products in South Africa, and I think other countries as well. And she's studied food scientist, so very, very diverse backgrounds we have here. So, Nicola, I would like to you to tell a bit more about your mission as a plant-based chef, and especially in countries like Zimbabwe and South Africa, where braai is one of the main part of food culture, and meat consumption is actually part of an everyday life.
My mission is to educate people, basically, especially in Africa and in Zimbabwe. We have a lot of problems when it comes to health issues. And I realize that our health issues can be solved with just changing our diets. And it's not a question of we don't have enough money or enough skills or like all the issues that people usually complain about excuses, reasons why we can't go forward. So going plant-based and being a vegan chef is for me to empower people so that they understand not only if you have a medical problem, but just in the environment that we live in Zimbabwe. Unfortunately, the economic situation is not so great compared to other countries. So people don't have that luxury of eating meat. So whether they like it or not, their mindset might still be meat equals wealth, but then your pocket is not saying the same thing because meat is an expensive thing to obtain in Zimbabwe, and also it's not healthy anymore. It's not as healthy as it was even 30 years back. The way they're manufacturing the meat is making us sick. So my aim is to just educate people on living a better lifestyle and a better diet, not only for your medical reasons, but also for just yourself. Yeah, to better yourself.
Yeah, I think it's very important that you mentioned the price of food and how important affordability is in order to in order to get the right nutritions. So, what are your strategies to reach out to the different parts of society?
Um, One of the strategies was the name of my brand is African Vegan on a Budget. So it was to make from the jump, we produce high quality products, even experiences. They're just at the same level as anyone, world class standards. But then we're taking away the notion that plant-based is for not for people of color, it's for everyone. We're taking away the notion that plant-based is expensive, and we're also taking away the notion that plant-based food is bland and there's no taste. These are misconceptions that have been there for quite a bit, but now that it's an industry that's booming and which is growing and learning, when plant-based stuff started becoming popular, even in New York or anywhere in the world, the food tasted like crap. That's the truth. We were still getting used to it, and we didn't have many options. But now we've got big brands who are now taking the time to invest in people who are food nutritionists, scientists, chefs, people who understand flavor. And that's the change that's happening. So those are the notions that I'm trying to get rid of, and it's working. Because being from a plant-based background or vegan background, it doesn't mean that you have money or it's expensive. And that's one of the main reasons people shy away from it. And the other reason is that it's not accessible everywhere. So I'm trying to make it accessible for everyone. Yeah.
It's super. I was very well, not jealous, that's not the right word, but when we were doing the dinner recently for the research, oh, I wish I could have sat at one of those tables. For the audience, I was dialing in from Berlin through an iPad. I was communicating with the participants while they were eating the delicious meals what Nicola prepared for them, also featuring a lot of local and indigenous fruits. It was very, very interesting. So tell me, what are your upcoming plans? So you are based in Zimbabwe now. You said you are also active in South Africa, but what are the next steps for Chef Cola?
Oh man, right now I'm based in Zimbabwe. I'm working with an organization called the International Anti-Poaching Foundation, and I am the kitchen project manager for the kitchen and garden, and I also help with community development. So right now we're doing a huge project. We're about to embark in a huge garden project whereby the pilot will be for the Akashinga Rangers, but then we're going into the community and going into schools and teach grain gardens, and also put in programs within their curriculum on how to, what to do with these vegetables, have cooking clubs and lessons, and it's just going to, it's a huge project that we're doing. So right now, for the next couple of months, I am going to be a gardener, and I am also going to be completing my cookbook. Finally, I am coming out with an African-inspired plant-based cookbook. So I'm trying to have it out by 2021 holiday season. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. I am saving one copy for me, please.
Yeah.
Very good. I also remember you mentioned that you might relocate somewhere else, I think for further studies or training, right? What are those plans?
I have plans on relocating to Dubai. So I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna be based in 3 cities: Dubai, Cape Town, and Harare. Dubai is strictly to learn. I was awarded an opportunity to go to a beautiful culinary school and learn how to, I guess, enhance my skill and flavor, and I can't let that opportunity go. And it's going to be one of those cramped programs, intense. So all of the senior lecturers are just going to be like, okay, you don't have time to play. It's an intensive boot camp, and there's no time to play. So I'm looking forward to that early next year. And yeah, going to school, going to learn a new culture, because I never thought I'd go to Dubai, honestly. Like, it wasn't for me, and I always went the other way. And it was because I thought that I would have a conflict of interest in terms of my own backgrounds and opinions, and also food. And then I realized that veganism and plant-based is growing in places like Dubai. It's a huge market, and like, don't knock it until you try it. Yeah.
Very good, very good. This is a strategy that everyone should keep in mind. Don't be afraid from something new, and first try to experience it before you completely eliminate it from your the list of options.
Exactly.
So if we go back to the boot camp in July, I mentioned at the beginning to the audience that it's a 4-week part-time program. The whole digital version was born given the circumstances of 2020. And I'm very grateful for that, because we could actually increase both the diversity and the inclusivity of the class, because no traveling was involved, and we could actually got together 37 participants from over 26 countries. So it's I'm still very emotional about it. But in terms of the learning, how did you experience these 4 weeks? What were the challenges in terms of digital learning, and what are the things what you could take away with you and you actually can somehow implement it in your daily life?
Well, some of the challenges during the boot camp is that we had a strong mixture, a strong pool of people who have very strong voices. And you can be a quiet person but have a powerful voice. And I think I'm one of those people I'm very quiet, but then I speak through my actions. And there's some people who are privileged to they're out there and they have that charisma. So during the boot camp, we were all together on screen, and the facilitator would give us options to voice your opinions or raise your hand. And I kind of regret it, because I should have spoken up more and contributed a little bit more. But I think that was one of my main challenges. It was a lot of people. To me, 37 people, speaking in front of 37 people is a lot. That, like, personally, during my own dinner experiences in Cape Town or Harare, I have a facilitator who speaks for me, because I would literally come up to a group of 20 people and say, thank you for coming, and you won't see me for the rest of the night, because I'm a shy person. So I think that was one of my main challenges. I liked it when we went into separate rooms and it was a little bit smaller. I wish we would have had more of those opportunities, so that, more voices could be heard. Yeah.
Yeah. And in terms of the learning, just for you to know, we listen and we are trying to design the classes this way this time to make sure that those who are not necessarily so easygoing in terms of being vocal, we would like to create smaller group exercises as well to make sure that everyone is somehow contributing. So yeah, that was one of the learning for us as well in July. And in terms of the content and the different assignments and maybe the hackathon, what were the main learnings for you?
One of the main learnings and something that I'm going to take away forever is that being a plant-based and vegan chef, I never used to open the door to have conversations with people who weren't from that background. And I never, even when I was designing my menus, I never considered non-vegans. It was just for vegans and plant-based people. And one of the things that kept on being emphasized during the boot camp was that you need to have conversations with everyone. Everyone needs to be welcome to the table. And for example, with the food situation, I don't situation is to minimize it. The problem that we're having with food in the world is that we're not allowing people to have these conversations. It's only a group of people who are making decisions about food for everyone. Everyone needs to be involved. And that's one thing that I took away from the boot camp, that especially for my brand now as African Vegan on a Budget, is that you need to involve everyone. And another thing that I took away was thinking about not only the finished product, but the environment, everything around you, and zero wastage, basically, to summarize it. So I learned a lot, and I'm implementing it in my day-to-day, daily, every single day, and connecting with people. There was a lot of powerful voices in the boot camp that realized, like, Kola, I've looked at your profile and you're doing a lot to be so quiet. And they reached out to me personally. They're like, okay, let's have a one-on-one conversation. Let's talk. Oh my God, you have a voice. And we are now actually doing projects that evolve around making changes and coming up with solutions with the food pandemic, I guess we can say.
Amazing. I'm very happy to hear, especially if these connections are staying long term after the boot camp. I am super happy to see that some of the hackathon projects are still working on the concepts what they delivered by the end of the 4 week. And yeah, I am. Yeah, super nice to hear every day, every week, connect with someone. And this is like a growing network. I counted recently. We are getting more than, we are approaching the 200 of all the alumni from masters and digital boot camps. So this will be a very powerful network to connect and work with in the future, that's for sure. So, yes. And we have always one question what I ask at the end of these sessions. If you could describe the future, the food future you would like to live in, and you have no boundaries, so nothing can stop you, how would that future look like?
Man, it would be rainbow. It would include everyone on the table, not just, okay, just because I'm plant-based or vegan, I'm not going to have a conversation with a hunter. We can learn something from each other. Not that I agree with what you're doing, it's just that taken away from, I think in this day and age, we seem to live in an era where we think that just because I have a gadget, a phone, I can access information, and therefore the information that I found, you can't tell me anything. And we need to stop that habit. Like, not everything is fixed by Dr. Google. We need to talk to each other and literally go back to the old ways of before there was social media, and write letters and have conversations, find stamps. So there's one thing that I wish for the future is for everyone to just come together. Yeah.
Yes, I think approaching each other and listening to each other are extremely important because sometimes certain actions have reasons but we don't necessarily know. And I think with the program and with the tools what we try to deliver as well, we try to help the participants to design and research on a human and planet-centered way. So understand the final consumer, understand the farmer, understand the food manufacturer, and see how a value chain could be designed, which is actually distributing the value equally along all of these participants. And of course, we need to educate consumers. If we don't talk to them, if we don't help them to make those better choices, nothing will change. And we had one of the other dinners in Poland recently where someone said, conscious food choices are made very difficult nowadays. What would be needed for an average consumer? Food choices should be just part of your daily life. I mean, you consume every day, hopefully. In order to make good food choices, why could you not just be presented with good food choices? And so this is maybe a future what can be created by running those conversations with people. So I really would like to live in your future or be part of that, Nicola. Thank you so much for being here. For those who joined a bit later, you can watch the conversation from the beginning on IGTV in a few minutes. And please tune in next Tuesday. We have the next session at 6:30 p.m. Central European Time. And I just checked, we will actually reach our 50 number before Christmas of this session. So very exciting. And of course, apply for the bootcamp. If you would like to be featured on one of these sessions, or you would like to learn more about the food system, your turn is now. And how great of a Christmas present is to get a certificate on the 20th of December from us and the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. So Nicola, thank you so much again and have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.